Hi, welcome back to my channel. My latest video did really good, so let's keep the momentum going. What are we going to do today? We're going to implement VLANs and chunking. Okay, let's open our packet tracer. Okay, let's explain our addressing table. So the blue one has an IP range of .10. You can see it here, .10, .10, .10. Then the pink has an IP range of .20, .20. The dark purple has an IP range of .30, .30. And then we have our switches with a virtual interface. And those have an IP range of .99. Okay, then NIC stands for Network Interface Cards. SVI stands for Switch Virtual Interface. And here you see the VLANs. The white ones are all data VLANs. In my line of work we call them data. And the red one is a voice VLAN. Okay, here you can see our end hosts, PC1 till PC7, and then here you see your switches. To have a better visual, let's also give them colors in our topology. Okay, so fill color, this one is blue. Okay, so the IP range .10 is PC1. Then PC4. Okay, let's move this. Then PC7. And then we have the IP range .20, that's pink. So select fill color. This pink. Okay, that's PC2. Then PC5. I think that's it. And then we have the IP range .30. That's dark purple. This one. Okay, that's PC3. And then PC6. Okay, and then we have the switches with IP range .99, and that's a light purple. That's this one. Okay. Okay. So that's it. Now we have a visual in our topology. A better visual. Okay, let's make this. and this one a little bit here. This one is okay, I think. Okay. Okay. You see the dot 10 are the blue ones, dot 20 the pink, dot 30 the dark purple, and dot 99 the light purple. Okay. So, what are we going to do today? We're going to configure VLANs. We're going to assign them to ports. We're going to configure static trunking, and we're going to configure dynamic trunking. Okay, background. You are working in a company that is getting ready to deploy a set of new 2960 switches in a branch office. You are working in the lab to test out the VLAN and trunking configuration that are planned. Configure and test the VLANs and trunks. Okay. Instruction. Configure VLANs. Configure VLANs on 3 switches. See the VLAN table. That's this one. Note that the VLAN names must match the value in the table exactly. Okay. So what I'm going to do is take a new document. I can also use a notepad. Then I copy this and then I paste it as unformatted text. Then I do this. So VLAN 10 name admin, then VLAN 20 name account, then VLAN 30 name HR, VLAN 40 name voice, then VLAN 99 name management, then VLAN 100 name native. Be sure this. So all the spaces here you have to delete. Okay. And then you copy this. And then you go to your, he says all 3 switches. Okay, you go to your switch. We're going to start with switch A. And go to the privileged mode by typing enable. Then configuration mode by typing configure terminal. And then just paste this and you're done. And then go to switch B. He said all 3 switches, so doing the same for here. Enable big terminal and then paste. And that's done. And then switch C. Last but not least, switch C. And doing the same thing. enable, and then paste. That's also done. So we just copy and paste. And now we have done the 3 switches. Okay, let's minimize this. Let's also close this. So part 2, assign ports to VLANs. On switch B and C, assign ports to VLANs refer to the addressing table. Okay. Let's just take this. I don't want to scroll up and down, and then put it here. Okay, let's make some space. Okay. So on switch B and switch C, assign ports to the VLAN refer to the addressing table. Okay, so B and C. So B and C. So we're going to have to do this. So let's give it just a black color from now. Okay, so we're going to have to do this one. Don't forget VLAN 40 because it's a voice VLAN. So we have to go to our switches, and then in switch B we have to go to the interface. So interface fast internet 0/1, and then in that interface we have to put switch port mode access, and then switch port access this VLAN 10. Okay, so let's get started. First switch B. Okay, again enable, configuration mode by typing configure terminal, and then you have to go here, you can see it, to interface fast internet 0/1. So then you see here you're in that interface, and then you have to put switch port mode access, and then switch port access VLAN. Which VLAN? You can see it here, VLAN 10. Okay, and then go to the interface fast internet 0/2 and then switch port mode access. Just use your arrow up, and then the VLAN is here 20. Then interface 0/3, then switch port mode access, and then switch ports access VLAN 30. Okay, that's done. You can see it here. There are 3 VLANs. Yeah, that's done. Let's go to switch C. So switch C, enable terminal, and then let's start with interface fast internet 0/1. Okay. Then the same switch port, mode access, and then switch port access. Which VLAN is it? VLAN 10. Yes. And then again, interface 0/2, switch port mode access, and here it's VLAN 20. And then going to the interface fast internet 0/3, then switch port mode access, and then switch port access VLAN 30. So let's go to interface fast internet 0/4. Switch port mode access, and then switch ports access VLAN 10. Here you can see it 10. That's our data VLAN, and our voice VLAN is 40. So we did this, then enter, and then here configure the voice VLAN on switch C. So we're still in the interface fast internet 0/4, and he asks configure the appropriate ports on switch C for voice VLAN functionality. Okay, so the command we have to put in to have voice traffic is multi-layer switch, quality of service, trust, class of service, which switch port. It is switch port voice VLAN 40. So switch port voice VLAN 40. That's done. So this is also done. Okay. Then configure the virtual management interface. That's this one, those 3. Switch virtual interface. Create a virtual management interface on all 3 switches. Okay. Address the virtual management interfaces according to the addressing table. The switches should not be able to ping each other. Okay. Let's go to our switch A. So let's start with the first one. This one. Create a virtual management interface. Okay, so we have to go to the interface VLAN 99. Okay, let's do that. So enable. Interface VLAN 99. The state is up. Okay. We're in that interface. You can see it here, abbreviation of an interface. Then we have to give it an IP address, and the IP address you can see it here. So IP address 192.168.99.2 252. Don't forget your subnet mask. So your subnet mask is 255.255.255.0, and then you have to click on enter and then no shutdown. Okay. Okay, let's go to switch B. Switch B, this one. Let's exit this. Okay. Then configuration mode, and let's configure our virtual management interface. Let's go to the interface by typing interface VLAN 99. Okay, we're in that interface. Then give it an IP address, and this one with the subnet mask. So IP address 192.168.99.253, and then the subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. and you click on enter and then no shutdown. Okay, that's done. And then let's go to our last switch C. It's this one. Let's exit this, then go to configuration modes, and then go to the interface VLAN 99, give it an IP address 192.168.99.254. Then the subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. Okay, and then don't forget no shutdown. Create a virtual management, we did that. Then address the virtual management interfaces according to the addressing table, we did that. And then the switches should not be able to ping each other. Okay, let's try that. Okay, we are here in our privilege mode. Let's ping. We are in switch C. Let's ping switch A. So ping 192.168.99.252. So the success rate is 0%, so he cannot ping switch A. Let's try it for switch B. And switch B is 253. So 0%. If you try the other switches, you're going to have the same result. So do that if you want, but you're going to have the same results. Okay, configure static trunking. Configure static trunking. Configure the link between switch A and switch B as a static trunk. Disable dynamic trunking on this port. Disable dynamic trunk protocol on the switch port on both ends of the trunk link. Configure the trunk with the native VLAN and eliminate native VLAN conflicts if any. Okay, so let's minimize this one. So configure the link between switch A and switch B. That's this one. So they're in the interface gigabit 0/1. Let's first go to our switch A. Okay, let's exit this. So let's go to our configuration mode by typing terminal and then configure the link between. So let's see the link, you can see it here. They use the interface gigabit 0/1. So let's go to our interface gigabit 0/1. You can see it here. We are in that interface. So let's configure it as trunk by typing switch port mode trunk. Status up, goes up. Okay. Disable dynamic trunking on this port. So it should be static. So we have to put switch port no negotiate. Switch port no negotiate. Okay. So it should not be a dynamic one. It should be a static one. So then the switch port has to link with the VLAN 100. So switch port trunk native VLAN 100. Okay, so that's done. Let's go to our switch B because he said the link between them. So we did switch E. Let's go to switch B. Let's minimize this. Go to switch B. Enable configuration mode. And it was the interface. You can see it here. Gigabit 0/1. So interface 0/1. Ah, I forgot gigabit. Then do the same thing. So switch port mode trunk and then switch port no negotiate. And then switch port trunk native. Native VLAN 100. Okay, that's done. And then configure dynamic trunking. Let's minimize this. Configure dynamic trunking. Assume that the trunk port on switch C is set to default dynamic trunk protocol mode for 2960 switches. Configure the interface gigabit 0/2 on switch A so that it successfully negotiates trunking with switch C. Configure the trunk with the native VLAN and eliminate native VLAN conflicts if any, if there is any. Okay, so first let's go to switch A. So the interface here is gigabit 0/2. Let's exit this interface. So the interface is 0/2. I forgot my gigabit. Gigabit 0/2. Then we have to put switch port modes dynamic desirable. Successful. So he can successfully negotiate with switch C. Forgot S. Switch port mode dynamic desirable. Yes. Status up, status up, status up. Okay, and then we have to go to switch C. And also configure the interface gigabit 0/2. Okay, let's do that. So here is C. Enable. Let's go to the configuration mode by typing config. Terminal. Then let's go to the interface. So we're going to do this. Switch C. And let's go to the interface gigabit 0/2. So, interface gigabit 0/2. Then switch port mode trunk, and then switch port trunk native VLAN. And what's our native VLAN? What is our native VLAN? 100. Okay, let's minimize this. Okay, let's check our results. Okay, it's 97. Let's check them. Switch A. In our interface gigabit 0/2, the native VLAN is incorrect. So let's close this. So switch A, this one. Native VLAN mismatch discovered. Switch port mode dynamic interface. Ah, we didn't link it. You can see it here. Okay, let's do it again. Okay. So interface gigabit 0/2. Then switch port mode dynamic desirable. We have to give it switch port. I know, wait. Switch port trunk native VLAN 100. Yes. So you see here, it's 100, because sometimes when you're typing, he gives you a mismatch, and then you get confused, and then you forget to link it with the VLAN. So now it's okay. I fixed it. So check results. Congratulations! So assessment items, you did a good job. You did a good job. You did a very, very good job. So, yes, when he doesn't let you type, sometimes he does that. So you're typing and out of nowhere you see mismatch, but you're still working in the terminal. So sometimes you have to ignore it. But when you see you forgot something, because here I was doing my thing, you can see it here. Wait, so here I was doing my thing, and then he said, "Oh, a mismatch." I'm like, okay. So my mistake was, so here I forgot my last command, and the last command was switch port trunk native VLAN 100. I forgot to link it to the native VLAN. If you know what your mistake is, you can correct it ASAP. Okay, that's it for today. So I hope you did good, and I hope also you learned something. So what did we learn today? What did we learn today? We learned to configure VLANs, to assign them to the ports, and then to configure static trunking and also dynamic trunking. Okay? So that's it for today. Please share, like, comment, and subscribe. And have a nice day. Bye!